the zetactors. Little pieces of technology without giving you the whole picture. They create rips in time. This time. What are rips in time? They're rips, the electromagnetic grids and the planetary grids. When they're done artificially, see, stargates are natural opening cycles. Rips are reinforcing open. The Montauk Project and the Philadelphia experiment, which were linked, they created a link, a rip in time, that linked two time periods, 1943 1983 together. They were done at those times for a specific reason, because there's a certain speed that is reached in Earth's Merkaba fields. It's called a magnetic peak. It happens every 20 years. The next big peak is 2003, August 2003. The Zetas plan to make a link between the hole they made, the Philadelphia experiment, the hole they made, the Montauk Project, and another one that will create a rip in time that extends from around 1920 all the way up into 2012. Because they want to bring in something called beam ships. Beam ships are larger vessels, interdimensional vessels, that have the capacity to transmit frequency that can create what's called a frequency fence here, which is part of a mass mind control technology. That's what they want to do. If they bring those beam ships in, what happens is the planetary grids get knocked out of line very rapidly. If they start transmitting those frequencies from those beam ships, we go into pole shift. It's not hypothetical, because there's a place called parallel Earth that's connected to us in our timeline. It would be the anti-particle version of our Earth. And in between parallel Earth and our Earth, there's a place called inner Earth. And they're literally three separate but interwoven reality fields that travel the same tracks of time, just at a little bit different speed. Parallel Earth runs ahead of us in time by several years, progressively get less and less until we're on the same timeline, 2012, possibly open. Right now, parallel Earth, in their period, in their timeline, that is about 2,000 feet in their timeline right now. This month, they're going into pole shift. They are starting to roll this month. Because over there, the Zetas came in. Over there, the Anunnaki, as the Pleiadians, came in first and introduced themselves as our space brothers. And then the Zetas and the Dracos came in and tried to take over the Anunnaki. And it all went to heck very quickly. It was not a nice scene over there. And we do have versions of ourselves walking those reality fields. Now, if nothing was done, if guardian races hadn't intervened, that would have manifested here, because that's how it works. It comes into parallel first, the antiparticle universe, it does its thing there, then it manifests and kicks back down here. We have this connection with the parallel and the inner Earth reality systems, literally, biologically, through our DNA templates. We are literally linked to our doubles in our inner Earth cells. And the planetary grids here are literally linked to the parallel planetary grids. So what affects one in under normal circumstances will affect the other. What can be done in a situation like this to stop this from occurring is literal breaking of the time vector line and plugging this time vector line that Earth is running on, which is a particle pulsation rhythm that's set for the core molecules of which the planets are composed. Plugging it into a different rhythm and getting it to change rhythm and shift, where it's literally taking one time band and splicing it into another. That is what is being done here. It's called the grid zone. We can successfully, when the magnetic grids peak out in August 2003, make it so they can't bring those beam ships in. Then, the Grid Zone project has a very good chance of working. We still may get some pole wobbling. We may get some weather changes and some tectonic and volcanic problems. But we still have a chance of not going into pole shift. We still have a chance of not repeating what happened 210,000 years ago. What is happening right now between the guardian races? They are trying to amplify the grid speed very, very quickly between now and June of 2003. It's getting into the science of it just a little. It means raising the frequency, the core frequency of pulsation of the planetary molecular structure to a level that it normally would not be for another year and a half. Now, to make this sound long, I'll just make it a little when you're in a stellar activation cycle and you have those vortices, those 7 seals opening, 1 every 4 years, the 4th one just opened. You don't need any extra acceleration in your grids. Okay? This is going to create a challenge because we may start to see some effects of this. First of all, on a personal level, you will start to have something called karmic bleed-through popping up all over the place. And if you know it's there, it will help you. It doesn't matter if you're Christian. You don't have to believe in reincarnation. Time is simultaneous, which means re doesn't really apply, does it? You have simultaneous cells in different time vectors. That's what reincarnation is. They're happening right now. You will start, because the DNA template activating, because of the grid speed accelerations, start to get bleed through from those other time periods. And I've seen some very, very intense versions of this, or some very, very mild ones. There are things you'll deal with on a personal level that it helps to know what they are. There are certain symptoms of what we call 4th DNA strand template activation. And you might think you're nuts. Start seeing things, start hearing things, people are talking to you in your head. No, don't run to the shrink. Don't run with the psychologist because they'll put you on lithium or something else and you'll be in real trouble. You know? And know why? Psychologists are good people. They've just been trained with a bad paradigm. It doesn't reach high enough. One of the things I'd like to do sometimes is go into the professional communities who would actually listen to anything I had to say, present the paradigm of 15-dimensional physics and 15-dimensional anatomy of the human body and subtle body systems that shows you where the consciousness is stationed. Because then they can really help people. Be hard is we're walking into a very rapid time acceleration, to put it simply, between now and 2003. And it's going to continue after that. But hopefully it will go good between now and 2003. You may get personal effects. You may get jittery energy. You may get hot flashes, cold flashes, think your hormones are going crazy. You may have, things like vision and hearing, higher sensory perception starting to occur in your life. There's a lot of different sensations. You may get weird little energy things, like feel energy running down your body. You may start to feel presence of those things that aren't normal for you. If you get these things, they're part of higher strand activation. The psychic senses are part of that. So you may get more and more of this. You may also get different types of fatiguing symptoms because if the body can't process that frequency, it's going to cause issues. That's why we've been given techniques of what are bioregenesis that are ways to use the mind to direct energy to open up conduits in the body. They do Kundalini activations, DNA activations, Merkaba activations, which prepares the body to hold those things. So the programs are very, very useful. On the table that we have in the other room, I have one. It's called the temporary Maharic seal. It's a natural phenomenon that would occur in your biofield naturally if you had full 12-strand template activation. But it takes a while to build that type of activation when you're regenerating the imprint. The temporary Maharic seal technique, if you practice it like it said on the sheet, will progressively help the body to hold more and more 12th-dimensional subharmonics, which will progressively activate the strands faster but in a harmonious, natural way. And it will help to clear out any distortions that are in the strand template. So if you're going to learn any one technique, there's hundreds of them, literally. We have numbers of programs that work with different areas. But Maharic seal is free. It's on it's a purple sheet, a violet sheet on the table in the other room. I would like to work with it, try it. It will also be in the process of more rapid expansion of your conscious awareness. You may start with more lucid dreaming. Yeah, that's the one. I don't have one in here with me. Yes, it's got the purple sheet there. Okay. Now, with that purple sheet, you could read it onto a tape for yourself because they work just as effectively and sometimes more so you're not distracted by trying to read. Read it onto an audio tape for yourself. Eventually I'll have it on audio tape, but we didn't get there yet. We have so many other things we've been trying to get done. If you use it, and use it like I said on the tape, it'll do a couple of things. First of all, it'll give you a temporary 12th dimensional seal on your bioenergetic fields, which means you won't get astral body infiltration from the Zetas or the Anunnaki who are trying to manipulate people. It also means if you happen to have been implanted, it will begin to dissolve and dislodge the implantations. So, it's a protective device, but even more important, it activates the DNA in its natural sequence, and it pushes the reset button on the body and begins that process. So that, I think it looks like people are getting ready to go. I don't know if this is like a mass movement or just some people. But, you're still there, okay.